How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome to Katawa Shoujo. So, it's been a while since I've actually done a free-to-play visual novel. That's actually the first visual novel I played was a free visual novel. It was Everlasting Summer, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that I can really enjoy this. I've heard a lot of great things about Katawa Shoujo, which also stands for Disability Girls. This visual novel has been out for quite a few years. I think 2012 was its release, maybe 11. Who knows? But whatever. I don't really have much of an introduction. I have no idea what this game is about. I'm only assuming that the female characters in this game are somewhat disabled. I'm pretty sure it's a different disability for each main female character. That's what I think, but who knows? I guess we'll figure it out. I'm also using a completely different method to record this visual novel, as I cannot use DxTory, which pretty much does everything for me. I'm going back to my old method of using Audacity for my mic audio, and this time around I'm using OBS Studio, which I'm sure is very commonly used nowadays, but I just prefer DxTory, but it doesn't pick this game up, so it is what it is. Let us jump into Katawa Shoujo. This will be my next long-term visual novel. And I also have to get used to looking at a small screen because this is 800 by 600, which is 4 by 3 if you guys couldn't do quick math. And regardless, it's just a very small window on a 1080p display. But whatever. Alright, let us begin. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. I believe this is, I think this is us. Hisao? I was trying my hardest before I jumped in here to try and pronounce all the names of the characters. I didn't read up on any of them. There's quite a few characters. I just was trying to pronounce them. But whatever, I'm bound to mess up. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 o'clock p.m. Ah yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. Oh, we got a love note. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white-painted sky are the only sign of time passing in the stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hi, Hisao? You came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Oh shit! We're already getting a nice scene here. This looks better on my preview window with OBS Studio because it's actually larger there. Well, I have to see the normal 800 by 600 here. God damn it. Whatever. Like I said earlier, it is what it is. Oh shit, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Iwanako? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. Oh shit. What's happening? My heart is pounding now as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Oh man, I got a bad feeling about this. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonic fuck noise is music to my ears. If you're new to the channel, understand that I struggle with saying English words or anything in general. It is what it... Okay, I really need to stop saying this. I need to stop saying that line. It is what it is. That's just who I am. Let's go with that one. I'm an idiot. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I wanted to know... Oh shit, if you'd go out with me. I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao? My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Oh, I guess we're dying. Well, this was fun. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. I believe we just experienced a heart attack. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Wow. What a start. Oof. Ooh, Four Leaf Studios presents Katawa Shoujo. Man, what an intro. Move the mouse pointer out of the way. Oh man. This is some nice little animation here. Damn, dude. This is some premium stuff. For sure. Now, I feel like I should have said this in the beginning. I'm not really a fan of hospitals and all that. I don't know if that's related to this game. I hope it isn't. I'm not a fan of what would you call it? Clinical stuff. Man, some nice subtle animations here. I like that. It's like oh shit! I thought that clock went back for a second. It's like I'm watching a little anime here. This is spectacular for sure. Is that it for the intro? Even the intro itself was so subtle. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Oof. Oh, we're in a hospital for sure. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Ah, shit, what is this? Arrhythmia? Arrhythmia? Let's go with that. A strange word, a foreign alien one. You're telling me. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Yeah, that sounds like it. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages. Fuck, I know this word. Hemorrhages. Let's go with that. Just get through this. apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Ouch. That's gotta suck. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. That was the first. I was gonna say, what? After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate on when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So, I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital. Although it was more like a storeroom for books, I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. Man, this is depressing. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside, alright, and just lay it down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao? How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now. With some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Oh, man. And I mean, in this economy... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I was just gonna say, like, holy shit, you know, in this economy, it's hard to pay for prescriptions, but I guess that's not the problem. It's the side effects. The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. So I guess it's not only the side effects, but just everything that's on this is kind of blending together. The drug itself, the dose, and I guess the symptoms, or not the symptoms, the side effects. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it, attempting to only make me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life? Every day? I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well what I wouldn't like. Or that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever of my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to go to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. I'm loving the writing in this. This is solid. Honestly, I am enjoying this. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. Yeah, however you can, be active in a disabled sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. And many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues at another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no, I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Man, this is some solid writing here. I love what's going through his mind, because it is terrible. I guess I should move the mouse pointer here, because we have some... Oh, Act 1, Life Expectancy. That's cool. I actually think there are 5 acts, if that's anything important. I feel like it's important. I also don't know why I have the mouse pointer on. I don't have that on for DX stories, so it doesn't pop up in anything else that I record. I just think it looks cool. A nice little black mouse pointer. It's different than the white one. Not trying to bring racism into this, I'm just pointing something out. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. It's a nice gate. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. Holy shit! This place is big! So I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh-cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I can anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. Oh man, look at this place. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. Tall man? Oof. Yeah, he doesn't exactly have the best posture or the best looking face. He's got a pretty cool outfit though. You must be Niki? Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Mutou. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Of course there's no time for a brief check-in visit that actually may be important. Who knows? Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Man, I'll be honest, I've never been in a Japanese classroom before, but I bet those introductions are as nerve-wracking as they seem. I mean, just doing introductions for, like, high school classes or college classes here that I've been in are pretty damn nerve-wracking, but they seem terrible in Japan, or at least in anime, waiting for me. I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Alright, so I didn't say this in the beginning, and I feel kind of bad that I didn't. But I have no walkthrough to follow, or guide, or anything like that. This is a complete blind playthrough. I was suggested to use some sort of guide to help me through this, but I feel like doing a blind playthrough makes visual novels such as this much more enjoyable, which means I may get onto some sort of commonly chosen route, but that's just how it is, man. I don't really have plans to also go back and see what the other routes are like in the recording session, or in this playthrough, I should say, but this is just a blind playthrough. That is the intention. I should have said that in the beginning, so I'll probably say it in the beginning of the next episode. So do we want to introduce ourselves? Yeah, you know what? Of course. Why wouldn't we? Honestly, like, of course we need to. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be at the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. As long as we don't fuck up, alright? And I'm not gonna save it every fucking time we come to a choice like that. Unless it's a serious choice. I feel like this isn't serious. I don't think we're gonna be... I don't think we're taking a risk by doing this or anything like that. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. That means third year classroom 3, I think. Muto opens the door and enters. Ooh. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step. I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. Oh shit, look at this class. Not a lot of people, but at least it's not a very small number like what you would expect or what you would get out of Grisaia, which is what I'm used to. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. Actually, you know what? We are almost out of time, so I think we'll stop it here. So let me find that saving area. Create a new save state. All right. So when I want to load, there it is. Wow, it even shows the playtime. Isn't that lovely? All right. So, I guess that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am a little bit worried when it comes to recording with OBS Studio. Things seem to get off track or off sync, and that's why I am relying on Audacity. I'm hoping that I can keep things somewhat okay here. If this method of recording didn't work, I'll try and find another one, and I will update you guys on what I do, because I'm all about sharing my methods. I don't keep secrets. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are looking forward to the continuation of this playthrough, because I really want to do this. This seems really interesting. I'm really into this so far. I am, like I said before, it's been a while since I've done a free visual novel, and this one is very popular. Been recommended to do this for quite a long time. as this has been out for a while. And it's also been a while since I've done a visual novel like this where there are no voiceovers for characters and I have to do everything, which means I can't get a drink of water in between unless I start dying and it's like a necessity. But I guess it's time to go back to old ways of recording visual novels for overall method and what the visual novel is, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but honestly guys, thank you for watching, and like I said, I hope you're looking forward to more of this. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. A like really does show your support. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I mean, shit. Like I said, I'm excited to do this. And if you're a fan of this visual novel, or if you would like to see more, please subscribe so you can stay updated on when I will upload Katawa Shoujo. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.